and welcome to the return of the IPLcast. This is episode 1 straight from IPL Radio HQ. Once again, this is Kamata, your Sino and senior admin, and joining me once again is Rowan.
Hello,
Rowan,
everyone.
we're back. We're freaking back.
After 3 years. And we are less organized than ever.
Huzzah! It's nice to see the quality carries on through the ages. Right. So, it's you and it's me, and we've also got Einstein in here, and Einstein's going to say hello through the webcam now. So everybody, just avert your eyes away from me and point your eyes towards Einstein. Here we go.
Any second when it turns on.
Here we go. Master of cuteness. He's got his own Tumblr page. We will link to that.
What we should do is get like all of the plushies that we have and just line them up behind you or in front of you, and then.
Yeah, you should get the substitute doll.
Yeah, it's in the crap pile.
Okay. And
just for anyone confused, the crap pile is a large pile of junk that we have at the end of the bed.
Yes.
Taking up like half the floor because we're very lazy.
Cannot be bothered. Anyway.
Anyway.
Let's congratulations to Paperfail for doing the happy dance in our chat room. Welcome to everybody in the chat room. Welcome to everybody viewing. For viewing later on, as you can now view these on YouTube. Fantastic new technology stuff. See where we've come from. See where we've come to in 3 years.
It'll be much easier to view past episodes. I think before we had to upload it through, what was it, iTunes? I think we had the audio on iTunes, and we had. Was it iTunes or something else?
No, we had the live stuff on Ustream, and then we had the podcasts on Podbean and iTunes. But no, it's all on YouTube now. So
much easier to get to. Also much easier for other people to join in. All you've got to do if you want to chat with us on air while we're live, either during or after the show, as we're going to be hanging around for about an hour or two afterwards, which would be riveting considering our start this morning.
Oh, yes.
Then all you have to do is either notify us in the Google Plus chat or the DA chat or some form of attention-grabbing measures like a skywriter, and then we will tell you exactly how to join us, and it shouldn't take too long. The first time might be a bit of a hiccup or two, but other than that, it should be a fairly prompt process. So
once we get this thing running, we should be fine. I just discovered a Q&A function after I actually started broadcasting, which I now can't switch on. So we'll mess around with that in the next episodes. A few things coming towards the fore. Please don't send any skywriters. We're indoors. We can't see the sky right now.
It's also
cloudy
very
and it's overcast.
Yeah,
it's raining. Please don't risk people's lives by trying to get our attention. Simply tweet us, chat to us, leave us a note, do whatever needs to be done. Happy dance if you want to.
The happy dance is the best part.
Happy dance is always the best part. If you can happy dance for us, and if you can happy dance for us in a way that grabs our attention, not only will we pay attention to you, we'll probably watch you happy dance for a bit longer. Okay, let's get through stuff with regards to the IPLcast. Let's start with.
Hold on. One thing that we will not be doing, at least for now, with the old shows that we did, we had this nice musical intro and we had some recorded bits and pieces. For now, we're not going to be doing that, so our intro is going to be just us talking. Maybe later, if we can find some sort of music to play in the background for a moment, then we could probably do that. But yeah, it's just going to be us yammering away for about an hour.
And until Australia improves its internet connections, you won't see any more high-quality photos of me, actually, high-quality streams of me. But I will occasionally be switching the cam on for some Einstein fan service.
We now also have Zippy Ferret and Athens in the DA chat room.
Fantastic!
Do you want to post a link there so that they can join us in the Google Plus Hangout thingy, or should we just...
I will include a link to the. Are they going to join us in the Google Plus Hangout thingy?
If you like, we can either. And if anyone wants to join us going through all this stuff, then they can. But otherwise, because I've got both windows open at the same time, so I can monitor either.
Okay. Look, I will happily link the chat to the YouTube page, but people are already watching that. You've already advertised it. If you are with us, I'm monitoring the Google page right now, and if you have added us in our circles, um, you will see our public announcement regarding the Hangout. You can then join from there.
Mm. Okay, so shall we begin?
Yes, please start with our news item.
First up on the news, the announcement of Diancie, the official announcement. We have known about this Pokemon for some time due to hacking in the games, but Nintendo has actually released an official announcement for Diancie. There's going to be a movie about her, and there's also been some revelations in her information, essentially, like a Pokédex entry, that sort of thing. So basically, Diancie is created when Carbink undergo a strange mutation. So it's actually you could consider it an evolution of Carbink, except it's not an actual official evolution.
Fantastic. Like it's technically a transformation. They don't want to classify it as an evolution as such. It's a transformation. They're being very careful with the words they're using.
Mm. But anyway, it's considered the leader of Carbink, probably unofficially, because I think Carbink just sort of hang around it. But yeah, so
Yeah, there's a lot of how do you say it? There's a lot of really interesting mysteries regarding that, which is by far the most interesting thing I've heard about Carbink.
yeah,
It's
it's
cute.
quite the strange Pokemon. I was quite shocked when I saw it first time in the game, seeing as that was like the first time I'd ever seen that thing. So it's quite surprising that it doesn't have an evolution of its own. But then there are a fair few Gen 6 Pokemon that don't. It was quite unusual, especially its typing Rock Fairy, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so the new movie that's coming out called The Cocoon of Destruction and Diancie. It's going to be the 17th Pokemon movie, and there is a small blurb based on a small blurb explaining what it's going to be about, and that reads, "The Dialand, a beautiful, pristine world, home to many Carbink. It's known that it's underground somewhere, but nobody knows its exact location. And inside the Dialand, there's a gigantic diamond called the Life Stone. The Life Stone has been the source of energy for residents of the Dialand for ages. Historically, there has been one sole Pokemon that can create and maintain this gem. Dialand's Princess Diancie. However, she is unable to do her job, and thus time goes on. While Diancie is unable to maintain the Life Stone, as time draws near, and at this rate, the Dialand will collapse. Diancie eventually meets Ash and Pikachu, and with their help, they search for the life Pokemon, Xerneas. In the movie, Diancie is the princess of the Dialand, an underground world home to Pokemon like Carbink, but now its key gemstone shines no more, leading to Dialand's destruction. So
Fantastic.
they essentially have to find Xerneas, but they encounter a cocoon, a shell of the resting Eviltile, who will once again destroy the entirety of
Region.
Carlos region. Shush.
Um, I'm really like this film 17 now
17, yeah.
of the annual Pokemon movies they do,
Mm.
and Ash is still 10. Um, or
I think he's
he's,
supposed to be
he's
11 or 12 now, actually.
he's like 12. Let's assume he's
11
12
or
because he's slightly taller,
slightly. He has like
slightly
brown
taller.
eyes now. I don't know what happened there.
I called him Contacts.
Yeah. Anyway,
So anyway,
this movie looks interesting.
I'll watch it if they film it. I'll watch it if they air it. Stuff like that.
It will come
I
out
am talking in
eventually.
big words. Is
Yeah.
they will. I'm looking forward to that. What I reckon the fans were really clamoring for. Remember when Pokemon Origins came out?
Yeah.
How big a fan clamoring was that? And also, how creepy was Brock? There's the one scene where like red and green go in battle, right? Red and blue, sorry, go in battle in the dub version, and there is this one like one moment where it's focused, I think, on red, and Brock is just hiding in the shadow of a tree. How
Yeah.
freaking creepy is that?
Well, his excuse is that he was watching them battle to assess their strength.
Yeah, that's. Hey, Rob.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we now
Sorry.
have all our admins on here.
Fantastic. This is the first time it's happened since the last time we did this.
This is the first time it happened since the last time it happened.
Welcome, Rob, from the US.
Hello.
We are working very hard to eventually make it so that all three of us are together at one spot at one time, and that will be a glorious, glorious thing.
One day, eventually.
I've always wanted to be like, okay, we'll work on it. It will happen one day. We'll get to it. I want to enable my webcam, but you're just gonna see a rather blurry, pixelated version of me and occasionally my EV. But we'll get through the rest of this external stuff, and then we'll bounce ideas regarding the IPL, because that's usually what we're here for. Let's go with Nintendo Wi-Fi connection ceasing operation. This is big.
You could probably read that out. I haven't opened the link yet.
Okay, so Nintendo has actually announced that they're going to be ceasing their Wii and DS Nintendo Wi-Fi connection servers starting in May. That means if you have a DS and if you have a Nintendo Wii, which currently uses the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection to access and use stuff, they will be shutting those down, which means you'll only be able to access their online services using a Nintendo 3DS and that family, including the 2DS, or a Wii U. Which is really strange, considering.
So you can actually still use Wi-Fi in the 2DS game, so long as it's connected, so long as it's plugged into your 3DS.
Yeah, as long as it is. No, as long as it's the. I believe it's the 3DS that's that allows it's what it's connecting to, as opposed to what it actually uses within the cartridge. I'm loading up the news article to this now, but
I'm just looking at this now. It says online play for Wii U and Nintendo 3DS games will be unaffected, aside from the Wii mode on Wii U and Nintendo DS games on Nintendo 3DS family systems. So if you have a DS game on your 3DS, it still will not connect to Wi-Fi. So all DS games will not have
so that's
online play.
That's Mario Kart DS. That's Mario Kart Wii, Pokemon Black and White, everything from the 5th generation.
They've already closed
no
the
longer
GTS
connect.
for past generations, I think, so we don't. There's no sense complaining about that anymore. But yeah, so any DS games will no longer be able to connect to Wi-Fi through Nintendo.
However, you can still use the DSi shop, the DSi browser, the Wii Shop channel, the Internet channel, Pay and Play, and YouTube. So that's some cold comfort to everybody who owns a legacy system.
Yeah, it's just the games that won't connect anymore, which is a shame, because there are a lot of very good games from the regular DS reign.
Rob, what do you think about this? Do you own any of the previous consoles that are going to get their connections and stuff switched off?
Yeah, I actually, when I said this, when I found out, I was like, oh, that shouldn't affect me. And then I was talking with my brother, and I then realized, oh, crud, Smash Brothers, Brawl. I won't be able to play anybody else. And I know that my circle, the circle I chat with all the time, we had wanted to do a Brawl night, but this was forever ago, and I found out about this, and it's like, oh dear. And then my brother reminded me that they're going to make a new Smash Brothers game for the 3DS, so and then I remembered that everybody has a 3DS now, so that shouldn't be that big of an issue, but still, it's another game too.
Is it going to be on the 3DS?
Yeah, they're making.
It is going to be.
They're making one for the Wii U.
I thought that was just for the Wii U.
No, they're doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's multi-platform, isn't it? So you can take the 3DS game and play
Yeah,
it
they've
like
been
a
doing that
controller
a
on
lot
the
lately.
Wii U or
Yeah.
something.
I haven't done that kind of research. I don't know if that's exactly it, but it would be amazing if it was. That would be so cool.
They
I know
demonstrated it with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, so
there's no reason
it's
why
not
they
like
can't
they
do
can't
it.
do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Look, if a third
Ooh.
party company like Capcom can pull it off, then
A first
surely
company.
first and second party, like Nintendo's got the capability. They just need to step up and actually do it.
Like HAL Laboratories
Mm.
thinks it would do pretty well too.
Mm. All right,
Anyway,
let's go
there's
to the
one more thing that's going to be shutting down. On March 31st, 2014, Nintendo will also shut down the Nintendo Video Service in Australia and Japan for the 3DS. So any of you that like watching those nice little 3D videos, that's not going to happen anymore.
What about my Shaun the Sheep shorts? Those were
No
amazing.
more 3D versions, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to get the box set now.
There'll be no more 3D trailers for movies or games or anything like that, and nothing on the Nintendo Video Service, so that will be closing.
I was really impressed with this video service because they showed a lot of really cool stuff that's meant to be shown on a 3D plane. Like they had like acrobats and circus stuff. They had magic tricks in 3D. They had like Red Bull had a whole bunch of really cool like webcam. GoPro stuff on there.
This might
And
simply
then
be
they showed
because no one was actually looking at it anymore. I don't think it grabbed enough attention.
grabbed me. But anyway, it they showed. I think they had the 3D trailer for Star Wars Episode 1 in 3D on there,
Mm.
and that actually hurt to watch. Not because Episode 1 is a particularly bad movie. It is. It's just painful to watch in 3D. It actually hurts to watch it in 3D.
So it was done badly, or is it just not suited for it?
A lot of movies weren't filmed
It's
to be 3D, so to film 3D,
Yeah.
you have to have the two camera lenses. But if you take a movie and retroactive and make it 3D, Episode 1 wasn't 3D to begin with, then they'll look more painful and less welcome to the 3D. So
it's just painful. Even on the lowest 3D setting that I could look, it just hurt to look at it. There's a certain tolerance I think people get when they're watching stuff in 3D, where you have to do stuff deliberately so it doesn't hurt the eye. And the pod racers in Episode 1, they were showing sections of the pod race. And you're right, Rob. This is basically a thing that was shot in 2D that was, edited to appear 3D. And it just absolutely hurts because stuff is going at you at such incredible speeds that your eye is having trouble actually falling for that sort of effect. And so you get a lot of eye strain just watching pod racers.
No, I can imagine that.
Should we move on to the next headline?
Yes, Pokemon Global Link now has a game you can play on Nintendo. I don't think this is something that I've connected to yet, which I should.
So if you own X and Y,
yeah.
Yeah, if you own X and Y, you've always had access to the online services via the new Global Link. And that includes, it's called the Poke Mileage Club, and that means you can exchange your Poke Mileage points for items that you can send back down onto the game. It also means that I believe it was either the new game. Oh no, they had a promotion in where you could actually get the discount voucher for whatever clothing you wanted to get, which was good for me because those things are
help you
expensive.
Yeah, that's an in-game item that will help you afford some of those pricey clothes that you've seen in the many boutiques.
It'll cut. I think it's a 50% discount. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah,
yes,
50%,
please.
Yeah.
And they've got new games now where you can, I believe, you can earn either items or stuff going towards Poke Mileage. You can spend Poke Mileage, I think, and earn items that you can send
You
back down.
can earn items, including some that are useful for Pokemon evolution in X and Y. The more medals you have, the more levels in the game you can unlock. It's a balloon popping game, which you can play by spending the Pokémiles you've earned throughout your adventure in Kalos.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So to anybody who hasn't activated their global link stuff yet, if you own the game, do use the online services, because I'd hate to see these go. I really like the fact that it had an online component and you could post your photos up there, which was the only other way I could get the photos out of the system.
So how would you do this? Because I've got mine open right now. Because I got mine.
Just go to oh man, and I just happen to be in the one place where I don't have access to either of my units. Just go to the PSS and just connect to. Hold on, I am too far away from anything.
You can go race off. I'm sure I will maintain this discussion in complete silence.
I have come unprepared. No, keep talking. Keep this going.
Yes, sir.
Mine's out of reach too.
Would it be GameSync? I mean, otherwise I wouldn't. Yes, I'm imagining of a Pokemon.
I have no idea where to look. I know I found it at one point, but I don't think I actually connected.
I know it's like connected to the internet. Create your GameSync ID info. What is GameSync info? Oh, okay. Go to
All right, I'm back.
website.
Yeah, just hit the Wi-Fi Wi-Fi signal. It should start connecting to the internet, and there's a way you can. It'll send you the game has a registration code you can use to sync up with your account on the global link.
Okay. And would it be under GameSync?
Pardon?
Would it be under GameSync?
Yes, it would.
And so create your GameSync ID. You create. There was a thing listed at stupid website.
3ds 3ds.pokemon-gl.com. Look at us. We're a bunch of gamers trying to figure out how to get this thing synced up on, live broadcast. Right. I'll leave you to work through that process. We're going to get through the headlines because we've got some IPL-ish stuff.
Yes.
Right. Twitch plays Pokemon.
I have been watching this as closely as possible over the last week or two.
I don't know how you can. I admire your endurance. I remember getting a message from a friend who was playing with some miniatures in some city east of here, and he was telling me that on their 40-inch screen they had Twitch Plays Pokemon broadcasting live.
I think I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, the gaming hubs we have here in Sydney are actually broadcasting this live on their television screens. This is how big an impact it is. I've seen it reported on CNN. I've seen it in at least 2 or 3 publications so far, including the daily newspaper we get here. It's garnering press coverage just because it's a really interesting social experiment.
It's very unique. I don't think anything like this has been tried before.
The game is especially suited to this sort of thing as well, because it only allows incremental movement. So one action at a time instead of 2 things happening at the same time. There have been imitators. Twitch Plays Tetris was one of them, which doesn't work as well because it's there's a constant time problem, plus the fact that you've got 2 things going on at once: the rotation and the fact that it's moving down. You've got Twitch Plays Zelda, which doesn't work as well because Link doesn't move incrementally across the screen during the game.
That needs to be one of the 2D versions if they're going to play that, like the original Zelda, or maybe...
Yeah, no, they were playing the original Zelda, but the original Zelda doesn't move in a grid.
Ah, really?
Yeah, they will have to play one of the GBA games because I think Link moves in the grid in those games.
I think he
But
does. Yeah, those are the ones I've
but
played.
the other thing as well is that Pokemon allows you to only do one action at a time, and Legend of Zelda lets you do more than one at a time. So
That'd be more of a disaster.
yeah, Pokemon is extremely is really well suited. Also, it's a more permanent-ish sort of game. You can play on the long term. And so they've been going for how many days now?
I think the last time I checked, it was 13 or 14.
They've been at it for 2 weeks, and they have reached I believe they reached the Elite Four, and they've challenged the champion but lost.
Yes, they did. I have no idea how they managed to get through Victory Road, because the last time I had actually checked, they were kind of having trouble with the boulders. But then I think they switched onto Democracy mode, which they love to complain about until they need it.
Yeah.
But yes, I think they managed to get all the way to blue. So they beat, let's see, so they beat L'Oreelli. They lost to her 4 times. This is overall, all the attempts. So they lost to L'Oreelli, yes, Lorelei, whatever.
Okay.
So L'Oreelli 4 times. They lost to Bruno once, Agatha 4 times, Lance once, and they've lost to Blue once, which has sent them all the way back to the front.
Of course.
So I imagine very soon they're going to get all the way through there. There was some raving. Oh, here we go. Someone new.
Wave. Hello. Identify
Hello.
yourself, I said, waving my arms around.
I just got this thing to work on my iPhone.
Huzzah!
Hooray! Most dangerous.
Are you gonna call her that? Are you gonna call her that for the rest?
That was the terms of the agreement for her wedding, is that everyone has to call her Most Dangerous.
Okay, all right. Hello, Most Dangerous.
So you are now Zippy Ferret MD.
Yes.
I'm
But
gonna turn the
only
webcam
dressed
on.
as the
Just
Most
have a little.
Dangerous.
Woo! I'm having a slight
What's up,
bee
my
sighting
friend?
here. Yo.
I have the Most
Alright.
Dangerous Junior right here too. He's even more dangerous than
Fantastic.
I am, actually.
No. It's a shame I don't have my cats here.
What a shame.
Yeah. My cats are dicks.
Yeah. Look, your ginger cat in one particular instance raised its claw up over my chest when it was on top of me while I was sleeping. I woke up to see it with its claw raised, and it's like, I've been found out, and it's scurried off.
You think that's bad? I've seen the evil one do that. I have an evil cat, and she likes to sort of like stand there and stare at you while you're asleep.
Great.
I don't know why. She must be plotting something.
They're always plotting something.
Yeah.
This guy's plotting to kill me in my sleep one day. He just pretends to love me. while he murders me. Yeah.
Did we mention the last headline? The last
We
main
have
headline?
not. So the last headline, AZ's Floette. Is it called AZ or AZ?
I call it as.
It's in capitals though, so I imagine. Oh, well, anyway, AZ's Floette.
Then I call it as.
Yeah. So, new information has been discovered. Someone managed to hack the game in a ways that they gained access to it. We've known about this for a while, and I think it's safe to say we're going to get it in an event at some point. But some new information has come up based on its stat totals, some attacks it can learn, that sort of thing. Let's see. So, in addition to being unable to evolve, its stats are actually higher than a normal Floette. So, since it can't evolve, its stats have been made to be slightly lower than a fully evolved Florges. So, let's see. It's actually only 1 point less than Florges's stat total. So, if you manage to catch this Floette or get it in however they intend to distribute it, it actually takes over Floette's Pokédex page once you obtain it. So it becomes, it is called the Eternal Flower Pokemon. which apparently is the name of the flower that it's holding onto. And it has a signature move called Light of Ruin, which it learns at level 50. The attack is fairy type, deals 140 damage, has a 90% accuracy, 5 PP, and it damages Floet with recoil. So that's a fairly decent signature move. It's one of those very powerful ones.
I have a theory that if you, I don't know if how far everybody's played through the game, but there is one point where they do some exposition on the battle with AZ's Floet, and I reckon that move that that Floet is doing in that cutscene is Light of Ruin.
Quite possibly. I think if you look at the Bulbapedia page, it does have a video. I haven't actually. No, it's the Poke Beach page. If you look at that, there is a video up. It probably shows what the movies look like, considering the screen cap here. So
By the way,
if you go to Poke Beach, you can have a look at that.
yesterday, I think I was watching the video. I don't know where the mashup is now, but I was watching the video of that cutscene, essentially the entire battle thing, with the music from Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, the intro to Final Fantasy VIII playing in the background instead. It's pretty epic.
Does it go to Guile's theme?
No, it doesn't go to Guile's theme. That only happens
How
when you go
could it
into
not
battle.
go to Guile's theme?
Because it only happens in battle.
Guile's theme goes with everything.
Okay.
You know I'm right. Anyway, that is the last of the non-IPL news that we have here.
All right, let's we are rushing through this. Let's chill and go through the stuff on the IPL.
Where are we? We're in half an hour, so we have half an hour left, and then about 2 hours of waffling. But that won't technically count towards the show.
We've nominally got half an hour left, but you know this might go over if we haven't covered everything yet. Right, so we haven't done this in 3 years. I know there have been numerous attempts to revive the IPLcast. I can name at least 3 or 4, but I won't. One particular attempt. Yeah, I've always wanted to do this sort of kind of YouTube-y, hangouty kind of thing, but the technology never came around for it until now. So this is actually I prefer this to the old IPL radio format because it was just basically an audio stream, whereas here, face shenanigans.
This would be a good time to bring up, actually. Our plans for this radio show this time around is we're going to be, us two, Kamata and I, are going to be doing this every fortnight instead of every week. So our next episode will be 2 weeks from now. But we're also planning to set up an American radio show. So at the moment, Kamata and I are in Australia, so we're actually doing this on a Saturday at the moment, which works best for us. But we could also have an American stream that would just better fit people in that time zone. That is the creepiest avatar I've ever seen, Athens, I swear to God. Anyway,
Nice.
Sorry.
So,
you were cutting out on
anyone
my
who's
end.
actually in...
Does your face freeze that way?
Is the
No,
webcam just halt there? Should I? All right, cool.
Anyway,
Do you
so
need
if
me to
anyone is
change
actually...
it or turn that off or something?
No, good
Don't worry
makes for
about
good television. Let's put that.
So if anyone's actually
brother's trying
interested in being a part of the American podcast, we still need to find a host. Athens, if you're interested in running that yourself, or if you know some people that could be interested, but essentially we can gather up a few dedicated people. It's very easy to set up now. As before, when we did it 3 years ago, there was all these different programs that we had to sync up, and then sometimes those wouldn't work. But now it's just 2 things. It's just Google Hangouts and YouTube. So if anyone's interested in running that, if they... It doesn't really matter if there's any experience, as long as you're capable of speaking normally to a microphone. Then
If you could speak
you
like
can
a
give it
regular
shot.
human being,
Yeah.
then you already qualify for this position. If you don't,
Yeah.
then you're probably, if you can talk like a slightly more interesting human being, then yeah, please sign up. No, so what we're doing is we're broadcasting every fortnight, and the intention is to have it like the old IPL cast. We're broadcasting weekly, but alternate the panel of hosts. So we only have to do fortnightly duties instead of having to do this every single week, which while it's really cool, it would be really cool to do this every single week. Is not the full-time thing, and we have stuff on the weekends too. So, like, we
So
want
this
to do
fortnightly
this.
one will be more manageable for us, basically.
Yeah, and also, yeah, people, it probably won't spike up the burnout factor, which will be good.
Mm. So yeah, if anybody's interested in helping out with the American version, that would run on every other week or monthly, depending on what the eventual hosts for that prefer. But yeah, we would love to hear if anyone's
I'll
after.
see what I can do, but I know Zippy was one of the ones who wanted to work on it, and I know that there are some others, but again, more help is appreciated.
So we're
Yeah,
all
no,
ears. Anyone who's interested, just contact us through the group page or in any other means. If you have contact with one of us directly, then go for that. But yeah, so we'd love to hear what people are interested in doing.
A
Okay,
whole show about
so
my cat.
all right, we're also bringing up the fact that the IPL has completely changed its logo and sort of brand identity now, and I'm not going to go into heavy marketing terms about that, but it was time for a change, and I'm actually really happy with the way the new logo looks.
Oh, it looks very good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very classic.
It'll look great in the button now.
the whole theme of the multicolored lines and everything is meant to resemble kind of like a metro system. We have all of the different lines coming together, and that represents all of the different generations. So
notice
yeah,
there are 6 colored lines on there, one for each
major generation. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's slightly cleaner than the last one. The way we've designed everything as well is meant to minimize the amount of clutter on the page, like on the trainer cards or on the page where possible. We've done away with some stuff we don't need, trainer numbers, all of this extra stuff. And we're going to try and clean it up. As you guys may have noticed over the past few weeks, we've been using a new type of navigation bar where we don't actually have text anymore. It's just all mouse overs. So if you've disabled that, I'm really, really sorry. But
we tried to make the symbols as recognizable as possible, but I do understand that it probably causes some confusion when people may not be able to recognize the symbols or can't find it, or even if they just simply didn't notice the mouse over thing, because not many people do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was trying to mess with some code to try and make the mouse overs appear faster, but they show at system default, which is half a second after you hold it over. So if you're just moving your mouse constantly over stuff, then yeah, that's not really gonna work as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in any case, the graphics look nice.
Yeah. I find it easier to navigate now, actually.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
There's a couple of gaps we need to fill in, but yeah.
I think there's a few more buttons that we need to make. I'm pretty sure I remembered it at some point, but not right now. The radio show needs a new button, actually. We need to make that.
If you guys have seen the actual radio symbol we use in IPL magazine to promote this thing.
Yeah, that is the actual new logo for the radio show.
Yeah, you'll see it on here as well once we actually put it up to review. Okay, let's move on to the diversity in art formats. We're finally seeing a lot more writing battles now. I'm happy. As a guy who is now a regular member of a writing group and has been promoting NaNoWriMo for the past 3 years, I'm just really, really happy that we're seeing a lot more writers coming in. I'm also happy about the fact that we're seeing more people actually experimenting with, more or less, experimenting with their artwork. I'm holding out for anybody who can model in 3D.
That's always been something we've been after, yes.
I'm working on my thing just so Karkpo can do more than just write stuff. I will put in the battle request for a single haiku battle, and that will be epic.
Who do you want to fight?
Look, let's go with let's just straight up go with I'll pick somebody at random. I'll have them all in a dart, and I'll just challenge one of them. But yeah, it's a single haiku. It shouldn't be crazy. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and yeah.
That'd be pretty
Um,
cool. Do you get bonus points if it's actually in Japanese?
You get. I will consider that if it is both Japanese and actually adheres to the sentiment of a proper haiku, which is, like just to express meaning in like to express ephemeral meaning in a single thing. Then yes,
Bonus
yes, you
points
do.
if you can get it to line up vertically.
Ooh.
All right, bonus points in Japanese. We're going to get. Yeah, we'll consider that. I
Another
like
thing.
to.
Another thing to discuss about, one thing that IPL has been lacking for a while is judges that are skilled in judging writing battles. So it has been, I think, noticeable that their verdicts given for written battles have been a bit less of quality than the actual drawn battles and that sort of thing. But we have recently gotten Ariadne Arca on board, who is a fantastic written battle judge. So yeah, we'll be directing, hopefully not too many. We don't want to swamp her. So the admins will still be writing verdicts for those, but we should be able to get more in-depth analysis and critique and that sort of thing for our writing professionals, and hopefully be able to assist them more than we have been.
I've taken a critical reading short course just so I can actually go in and help around with the written battles. I understand that there are different things to look for and there are different things to analyze when it comes to visual and written battles, and not everybody understands that. So we might trip up here and there, but it's good to have somebody with a fair amount of critical thought when it comes to writing, volunteering for the position. It's really nice to hear that people actually volunteer for it.
No, we love our judges.
Everyone loves the judges. Thank you, judges.
Thank you, judges. We love you. Thank you for doing
I think
the
a while
work
ago
that
we were
would
trying
otherwise be
to
doing.
roll out judges perks, but I don't think we actually ended up doing that. So
We will
really
roll out
should.
judges perks. One of the major judges perks that I want to say that we are actively going to be doing from here on in is if you are a judge and you have a battle, we will try to prioritize you over everyone else. Just because we know that we don't want to leave you languishing, waiting for a verdict, because that's what people get stuck doing. So if we can help you by prioritizing your battles, and you can help by prioritizing the verdicts that are sent to you, then I think it'll be a positive feedback loop. Yeah. Look, we've got. We'll move on to the headline. This whole thing with regards to art format will come back. We'll bring it up in a future IPLcast. But going through this, we've got a few people who left the IPL at some point who have since made a return. So back during what I call the second and third waves of IPL trainers have since come back. In this new fourth wave with all of the new people as well. So really interesting.
Yeah, we've got a few old favorites such as Leash and Vu. Vu actually joined yesterday, I think it was, or something like that,
Yes,
which
it
is great
was.
to hear because Vu does some fantastic artwork. So I look forward to seeing all the new battles that she does.
Yeah.
Although unfortunately, it looks like James. What was his last name? The reporter James hasn't returned.
No, well,
Yes, that was it. That was great.
we'll. I reckon it'll be nice for them to come in and just take it casual and take it easy. I'm just having a quick look at the rankings right now, and the rankings needs challenging. If anybody's seen how huge the gap is between Lunik and the next person on the list.
Mostly because he goes unopposed in most of his battles, and he's in the roulette. And,
we've
the fact that he's in the roulette.
I've arrived at the decision that we are going to cap the rankings, because you can only go up so far on the ladder. And I've basically, if you've seen the plus rankings recently, everybody who now has a weighted total greater than 15 is just in a class called elite. That's it. You don't go any higher than that.
So there's definitely a large gap here. So we challenge our members to see if they can get up there in the elite with Lanyuk.
Yes, if you can find your way up there. This goes out to you, Leash, because you were dominating the rankings last time. It'd be cool to see this spread across. Right now, we have a lot of people between the neutral and the +2 range. But that's okay. It's you take your own pace when it comes to battles in the IPL, and battles in the IPL aren't the like everything in the IPL. I'm
we've got a
trying
bunch
to
of
emphasize
other
that.
stuff now coming through.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll go from that to, this is just a minor thing for me. We are planning to go to Manila round about October. So there's a potential for a dev meet, because I've looked through some of the accounts, and I think 6 odd deviants from the IPL are actually from Manila. So they're in one very close geographical spot. So we'll try and arrange a dev meet where everybody can meet there. And if the opportunity comes up for us to go overseas, say to the US, then hopefully we can work our way around there, or in Europe. We'll sort it out, because not like I want to go overseas for some sightseeing, but being able to meet everybody who helps make the IPL the awesome place that it is would be really cool.
It's definitely a goal of ours to meet at least a large handful of our members in person. You know, not weird or anything.
If we
the trip to Manila hopefully is going to be end of this year. The rest of them, like US and England, all that's going to be much further into the future when we actually have the money.
If we win the lottery, I'm going to do the grand tour, and we're going to visit everybody. But yeah.
We should have a lottery poll.
I'm too much of a statistician to enter the lottery, but if anybody wants to enter the lottery in my behalf, please feel free to do so, and just yeah. That little aside, we're going on to. Did I close the window? No. Right. The next point of development for the IPL. This is something I was polling about for the last 2 weeks. If anybody didn't get a hint as to what I was getting to regarding the polling, we are actually going to be working on the residential area now in earnest. I think this has been something that a lot of people in the IPL have been asking for years. They want to own property, and I reckon this is a good move, because basically we want the IPL to be as much our world as it is your world, and actually having a permanent base, something that is owned by you within the IPL. This is something we want to see. We want to see trainers take ownership. Like, we want to see you actually develop stuff. If you RP in it, feel free, go nuts. But we want to see you grow that environment. So the residential area is coming through. We're going to be working on that. Major kudos to Ariadne Arca, because she seems to be a really good all-rounder. Came in and linked us a list of floor plans and pictures of apartments, like an apartment floor plan for the residential area, and they look amazing. I don't have that much time to spend in Sims 3 to model all that together, but she did, and much gratitude to her, because it actually does look really good. She's gone ahead and modeled some stuff. You can, if you go to the IPL page, you can certainly see it. It's on. She's left some comments on the residential area and linked to it. It's on her stash. You should take a look. It's really good. We've contacted her. We want her to play a part in the way we model the residential area. Hopefully, we'll have an initial version of it out mid-March. The idea is to use the old Pokemon Dash League account to host like the residential stuff and update it from there, instead of being hosted in a particular artist's hub. we'll try and make it so that it's as little pain. Sorry, it causes as little pain to whoever's managing it as possible. There will be a spreadsheet because spreadsheets. It's already in a list of projects we're currently doing, including overhauling our internal battle records, putting the old battles on Tumblr, and what are you doing? Yeah, overhauling our trainer records. I'm doing some really wacky spreadsheet voodoo with some of the experimental stuff. So if you see some really wacky stuff going on, just ignore it for now.
So are we still trying to move all of our records and stuff to the website? Because I think we've begun setting that up.
Yeah, no, what we're doing is basically it's going to move from within Google Docs, so it's within Google Drive. We still have the records only in Google Drive, but the thing will be displayed live on the website. And for those who don't know, we bought a website called ChallengerIsland.com. And if you are watching this and for some reason own the actual Challenger Island, we're not giving it to you for cheap. So we have Challenger Island. It's going to be Challenger Island Commerce because that's the actual name of that's the name of the place where the IPL is. And you'll be able to access the rankings there. I'm working on a Challenger Island logo. If you have any suggestions, just post it using the regular means. But we're planning to pull the rankings from Google Docs and actually display them live on the website. So if the IPL updates have been done, when the IPL updates are done, we update the DA page. We also update the Google Docs page, and that automatically reflects on the Challenger Island rankings. Hopefully we can work out a system where we no longer have to update the DA page and you can view all of the rankings externally, because that means we can sort. Like if you want to sort alphabetically, if you want to sort by weighted, the weighted score, if a number of wins, or whatever, you can do that through the website.
People have to update,
It'll make it a lot easier for us, for whoever's updating the rankings. So they only have to update it into one place, and it shows up everywhere else. We wanted to do that years and years ago. We wanted to do that in actual trainer cards, and we couldn't do it because DA has some particular. It chucks a hissy every time you try and say, "I want you to pull data from here." It's like, "No, this is a security risk. We can't let you do that." And I'm like, "Okay." That's mostly why we can't do anything particularly cool or interactive on DeviantArt. They're just paranoid about their security, and it's not at all unjustified. So we'll leave it there for them. But if we can move it externally and we can make it automatic, then all the better. And we can focus on making the IPL basically a hub of information and cool stuff instead of a partial rankings ladder. Cool. Right. We've got a final item, but this is going to go on for a while. Storyline missions. I want to hear feedback. How's that going?
I haven't done any.
Enthusiasm.
I was busy winning.
What are we up to with the storyline missions? How many?
Okay, we're currently at the end of mission 3. So basically, it branches out every mission. So mission 1, you decided to do stuff. There was a preparation thing done. Mission 2. Mission 1 you chose between airport and seaport. I think people chose seaport. Mission 2, you ended up picking between 3 different colored parcels. Everybody picked, well, the majority picked Mix-a-Lot of the 3 people who entered. And basically the goal now was to help Mix-a-Lot. And you will see the results of that once Mission 4 comes up. But Mission 4 will be a twist.
Okay.
We'll be putting up some. Yeah, it's going to be interesting considering some movies that are coming out soon. Excuse me, I'm rather I'm rather surprised how it's synced up that way, but it'll be interesting. Mission 4 will end big. There will be a few weeks of rest, and then we will start with Chapter 2 prologue. Everything that's been done on everything that's been done in Chapter 1, who you didn't choose to help, who you didn't like, which part of the island you didn't choose to clean up, is going to affect the way stuff in Chapter 2 runs. So if you weren't successful in helping the business, you might come in to discover that the business is either closing up shop or has moved elsewhere or whatever. So everything you do in Chapter 1 will impact something in Chapter 2.
That'd be cool.
I am working on I sincerely want to hear feedback, because I don't know how big to make Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is going to be on a much bigger scale than Chapter 1. Chapter 1 was our test puppy to see how everyone would feedback and what sort of response we got. I have to say, with all honesty, that I was expecting the responses to the different missions not to be that large, but it's tiny. It's a lot tinier than I was expecting. Mission Prologue was really Mission Prologue set me up for failure, because the number of entries in the prologue were far more than the number of entries submitted since.
I think it's simply that constantly having to make a submission for something like that eventually gets exhausting. So there are people that would skip a few of them, and then, or they'd probably keep up with it, and then they just get tired, that sort of thing. It is certainly a lot of effort to draw these submissions.
That's
so
true,
I'm not
but
surprised that there was a bit of a fallout.
There was about 4 weeks though between the prologue and Mission 1, so it wasn't.
Something from what I've noticed, at least running Stab and had known before, is that if you wait too long between, like, say, auditions opening and then when they close, then people will lose interest or they'll move on to something else, or they'll become too busy with other, like, real life topics or whatever to come back. So, well, I'm not saying that this is entirely the reason why, so few people did Mission 1 as opposed to the beginning. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it could be a factor. And then again, I think it is trying to be the idea of trying to constantly do something within the time limit is also kind of a burnout thing, which is kind of why during Most Dangerous Island I suggested we do a break round, and this is what I did in Stab 2, is do a break round, because I discovered that people were getting upset, and I knew that I needed a break at the middle of the term.
Yeah, I love that break round. That is a great idea.
I don't know where it came from, to be honest. But
okay, we'll try and I think we'll try and implement like a free thing, somewhere through Chapter 2. I reckon for the future, where it's just it's like this. This is what's happening, and if you decide to do stuff, then it contributes. If you just want to do stuff, then feel free. Just take a break. Yeah, it's not. I'm just. I want to see what the response is on the final mission, because the final mission is bigger than the last couple. The last couple were pretty much just calmer stuff. Choose something, do.
I'd also suggest that we might have a little less activity in general because of the general inactivity in the IPL. I haven't been. There haven't been that many battles for me to.
No,
I've noticed that myself.
It's been very quiet. Although I do take it that it is school time, and
that too.
I'm complaining about the lack of battles.
I have noticed the pattern though, where the less active that us admins are, or the less that we have going on, or like those sorts of things, and the less activity we get in general. Like the last time we had the radio show, I had honestly just joined at that point, so I don't know just how many battles were coming through each week. But I noticed after like a few weeks of doing this show, everything really spiked. I think we were getting 15 battles a week or something like that. I remember it was very large.
I remember that when we got massive viewership for this, and then it suddenly went to close to 20 active battles in the ladder, and I started bitching about it. about 5 or 6 episodes in, because I was doing all of the battles at that point, and I'm like, people are putting battles but not putting in submissions. What the hell is going on, guys? But now, yeah, we're more or less seeing less and less. Would you say you're seeing less and less of an occurrence of people not submitting stuff after they've started the battle, or?
With the roulette especially, it's like, I feel like I need to just wipe that thing clean and just put people in who keep asking that week, and then just after that week I clean it up. I feel like I'm going to have to start doing that, because it's like I've got people who have been sitting in there and they haven't asked me to remove them, but I feel like that's kind of part of the issues, that people ask for battles, and unless they ask for it through the request, then they don't submit the battle. I think I don't know. Maybe it's I I need to get a book out. I need to get with that and figure that out. But obviously,
I think we need to, as admins, not like, it's not just that we gotta look at and just figure out the way we're going to do battles, but also, I don't know. I want to. I mean, I've tried to emphasize now over, since the leadership change up, that the IPL is not a purely battle thing. When people see it as an OCT, we try and say, hey, it's not an OCT. It's, battles are there. I'm not discounting that they're a nice part of the IPL, but we want to have other things going on as well.
Right.
Yeah, with regards to the storyline missions, I'm hoping, like, Chapter 2 is going to be decent. There will be battle sections in Chapter 2. I'm not saying there won't be any in Chapter 1. Just have to wait and see. But fairly expanded. We want to bring in. This is more an RP thing. We want to bring in one of the personalities from Kalos as a cameo. So you're going to
no, I was kidding.
Just.
Is it my boyfriend?
Maybe. But yeah, we wanna actually say, well, from my perspective, I'm looking at the IPL and saying, hey, we set this play up, and it lives within the Pokemon world, but we don't, we live within our own metafiction of the Pokemon world. So why can't we bring in occasionally people from the Pokemon world in a capacity that doesn't affect any of the games? Like, I hope no one tries to assassinate whoever we bring, whichever personality we decide to bring in. And if you just got that idea from me spouting it up, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please delete that idea from your head.
Oh, darn. What am I going to do with my most dangerousness if I can't assassinate people?
Well, wait until...
You couldn't try, we just said you couldn't succeed.
Wait until Mission 4, you might get to use your most dangerous credentials to the test. Yeah, I'm looking forward to creating... I'm kind of sad because there are a lot of paths in the storyline missions where I had surprises laid out. And people essentially did the Twitch Plays Pokemon thing and went completely where you didn't expect them to go. So for Chapter 2, I'm going to make it so that at certain points, regardless of where you are guaranteed to get some really cool stuff happening. I think one of the Mission 2 stuff, if you chose a particular crate, then you'd go to an area where it would actually be a design contest, and we would ship you the shirt with the design.
Ooh.
Yeah, but people went a completely different path. There was a bunch of other missed opportunities in Airport, but Mix-a-Lot I think has a surprise sitting in it as well, depending on what the overall evaluation is going to be. But Chapter 2, we'll try and make it better. We'll take on board the lessons we've learned from this one, and we'll mess around with people in the residential area for sure, because it'll probably start happening after we implement that. Yeah. Stunned silence.
But yeah, so regarding the storyline missions, there is actually a spreadsheet set up with each step. Um, this is an actual, genuine, control your own story sort of thing. There are pathways from certain choices that simply do not occur with other choices. So it's if you choose one certain thing, you will completely miss out on something else. It's not going to come back. And frankly, it's just amazing how this has been set up, honestly. Just the different options that possibly will never happen. It's fascinating.
I know it's one of those things in game design where you're essentially setting up things that almost no one will ever see
Yeah.
just because of the
It's
nature
like,
of the way it's played.
it's like there are games out there that say that they're like choose your own path sort of thing, but then in the end you're still on the same, like no matter what choices you make you still have the same story. Like this isn't the case though. The story actually changes fairly drastically depending on what people end up deciding on.
Yeah, there was a certain scenario I think in mission 1 where if not enough people helped either the seaport or the airport, you would be going through a third mission where you have to do something else instead of
Completely
seaport or
different,
airport.
yeah. Completely different direction. It would have been amazing.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I hope people aren't too burnt out or whatever from chapter 1. Want to hear your feedback. Want to get stuff going. We want to implement stuff with regards to the actual running IPL storyline because there is an actual IPL storyline. We've actually got a proper villain now in the name of Sailkirk.
Which tournament was it that he appeared in? It was one of our past major ones.
He was in Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, that's it. So if anyone wants to learn about Sailkirk, they can just read through the Grand Prix tournament. That was a comic tournament, I think. So some of the stories are simply amazing.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of that, Sailkirk was
very evil.
Sailkirk was very evil, and he was also arrested or shot, depending on which story you actually read. I would like to think he was shot then arrested. But
either
some
that or
people
he
would
was
like
arrested and then shot.
Oh, okay, all right, fine. Be a John Wilkes move. But yeah, so the idea is that I completely lost my track of mind there. Holy crap!
Save me, Evie.
Save me, Evie. Dance, Evie, dance.
Play us out.
So so chapter 2 will I'm hoping to involve some cameos. I'm hoping to actually have 2 very large, completely divergent storylines. We're going to bring Angelus and Sailkirk and the rest of them into it. You will hopefully find out slightly more about the background of Kamata and Carpo and the rest of the weirdos in the area. And by that time, we will hopefully have an alt character coalition coming up between me, between Carpo, Dr. Dementius, and Rob.
That's
hopefully.
One thing that hasn't gotten enough attention. I think we simply haven't been able to advertise enough. We have one coalition that's run by Lunyik.
I know there's another one coming up. There is another one coming up, and there's ours.
Yeah. No, we just don't have the time to advertise these things. Like I've barely even got time to advertise for the magazine. It's just like we need dedicated people to just sit down and like just tell people about it and actually do stuff with it. Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally real life gets in the way of the fun things and just bulldozes everything.
Yeah, I know I've been talking with a lot of people about making a coalition, but we also do other things.
Yeah. I
don't think a single one of us are artists professionally, so like we all have chosen to do other career paths that say, no, you can't do this because you're doing that.
Even in a professional capacity, though, I think we would have professional responsibilities that would take us away from the IPL.
Yeah.
But man, the IPL is my baby, and I still refuse to let it go.
We're keeping it live.
We've been jump starting it a few times. It's not a dead baby yet. So we'll keep going. We'll find ways to improve as usual, and the IPL will be here for as long as there's a will and a way, and I am insane enough to do it, and my admins are insane enough to join me. Okay, so that's Well, I know you are. We're fine in this regard. We're three completely insane admins with a whole bunch of insane judges with a whole bunch of insane trainers under us. So this hierarchy of insanity is perfectly suited for the IPL. All right,
But
I
sane
think
people
that's
get done anyways.
yeah. I think that's it for us. Was that
Pretty much, we're
everything?
actually over time by 10 minutes. So yeah, that's
Hooray!
We made it.
Woo!
We got through an episode.
We're
And
over
not once
time.
did I swear.
No, not once. This will slip. Just you watch.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Okay. So we'll. It's 2:10. We'll end it there, I guess.
Yeah. So closing out. We need an outro. What's an outro? Play us
If you
off,
have any
Evie.
feedback,
Sing the
right.
poker rap.
Chameleon war turtle. Yeah, that's as far as I know.
If you have
Something Aerodactyl overnight slowpoke. Something Arbok. That's all, folks.
If you have any feedback for IPLcast at all, leave a comment on YouTube. Leave a comment on the IPL.deviantart.com, which is better than saying Pokemon-League.deviantart.com now. We are now properly Team IPL. We have to call ourselves that because there is a Pokemon League and they have lawyers. So yeah. As usual, we're always going to be on the DA Club, the-IPL.deviantart.com. If you need feedback, then just join us there, or join us in Google+. Just look for us, Team IPL, in Google+, or look for us in YouTube. Comment and all of that stuff. You guys are smart enough. You can comment. We don't need to give you tutorials on how to write feedback. We do want feedback, though.
Yes, we would definitely love feedback. And again, our next episode will be in 2 weeks. If anyone's interested in making an American version, they can simply note us via the group or post a comment somewhere. We're honestly not that hard to get in touch with, so yeah.
Oh, and if you want to write any fan letters to Einstein, please feel free to do so in the comments below. Okay, all right, we're stopping the broadcast there. Thanks, everybody.
Peace, wise.
You.
And now we have about an hour and a half of nonsense.